Hey y'all, wanted to do a quick test of my new SD card in this camera to see if there's video breakup, and I figured what better test than to bring you some Bible, some scripture, some word of the Lord. So just a quick, just something I was reading through this morning, and it jumped up at me. Is this whole Revelation 12 thing that's supposed to take place in the sky on the 23rd, right? It's just a week or so from now. I'm skeptical, obviously. I'm always going to remain skeptical. The 9/23 of 2015 thing, I got a little wound up in that because I was really looking forward to getting out of here. And I got a little too wound up. And after nothing happened, it was very easy to see that none of it was biblical. It was actually demonic. They were saying, your age is over, our age has started, and so on and so on. I think this sign coming might be the same thing, but this is something interesting here. In Revelation 5, we're told, Revelation 5:1, I saw the right hand of him that sat on the throne, and a book was written within and on the backside, sealed with 7 seals. So it's written on both sides of a piece of paper, for lack of nothing else. Okay, let's see. This piece of paper here is written on this side, and there's nothing on this side. If it was written on both sides, and you roll it like a scroll, right? The words on the front and the back will actually touch each other. I'm not the only one to have fallen into this. That was a long time ago when I first got into that. But so it tells me that as this scroll is unrolled, these things that are on it are going to happen simultaneously. That's just my interpretation. But listen to this. With this Revelation 12 thing, after the sign that everybody's so caught up with this Jupiter in the womb and all this stuff, nobody's bothering to continue on with the scripture to see what happens next. And anybody that reads this knows what happens next. Next comes the old serpent, the dragon, and the devil, and Satan. And he comes having 7 heads, 10 horns, 7 crowns on his heads. He drew the third of the part of the stars of heaven and cast them to earth. He stood before the woman, waiting to devour the child, blah, 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 right? We know all that. No one's talking about any of that. Or very few people are talking about that. If you keep reading down here, it tells you that the woman, travailing in birth, giving birth, that this dragon's waiting to devour her child, will be taken away to the wilderness, right? Where God has a place for 1,203 days. So that's 1,260 days, or 3.5 years. That's Revelation 12, verse 6. Revelation 13, verse, where are we at? I had all this squared away for you so there wouldn't be these weird pauses in here. La 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 la. Oh, Robert, you look like a fool now. Anyway, I have to find it now. If you go before this in Revelation 11, what happens before the Revelation 12 sign and the woman being protected or taken out to the wilderness for 1,260 days, 3.5 years, you have the 2 witnesses, right? After John's been given a measuring stick to measure the holy place, the temple, and all that stuff, it says 2 prophets, or the 2 olive trees, the 2 candlesticks. That's plain English. Let me read you the King James so y'all don't freak out on me. They're standing before the God of the earth. That's what it says, 11:4. These are the 2 olive trees and the 2 candlesticks standing before the God of the earth. If any man hurts them, fire proceeds from his mouth, and they'll be killed in that manner. How long are they to prophesy? 12 1,260 days. So, the chapter right before, Revelation 12, with the stuff in the sky that everyone's all into, right after that, this woman that gives birth that you're all looking at is going to be taken care of for 1,260 days, 3.5 years. These two witnesses also 1,260 days, 3.5 years. A whole chapter before. The chapter after, the dragon encourages the creature to speak great blasphemies against the Lord. This is 13:5. That's plain English again. Shame on me. And there was given unto him a mouth to speak great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue. How long? 42 months, which is 3.5 years or 1,260 days. So 3 chapters in a row, 11, 12, 13. The Lord is showing us a 1,260-day period, or a 42-month period, or a 3.5-year period. Use whatever numerical numbers you want. They're all the same. How can all these things happen one after another in sequence? You'd have to add all those 1,260 days, 1,260 plus 1,260 plus 1,260 if they're going to happen. See, that's where I get the idea that these things are going to happen simultaneously at the same time, because the words on the scroll are touching each other. Just check it out for yourselves. Take a look. See if you can find any other kind of things like this. I find stuff all the time. Why? Because I guess I got too much time on my hands. But that was my Saturday, or today's Thursday. It feels like a Saturday. Brother Rich is here. He's going to help me get the trailer loaded up with the race car. Going to go out to the racetrack this weekend, play around a little bit. The Lord said to occupy while we're here and to watch and spread the word. So there are plenty of lost friends up there in the garage at the racetrack that I will be thumping with my Bible. I'll be giving them a little sermon or two if they'll stand still long enough to let me. Some of these guys will shrug it off and endure and let me speak my piece. Others, I know, if I don't stop talking immediately, they'll just walk away, which is fine. But I need to do what I'm instructed to do. I'm a servant of the Almighty Lord, the God of this world. He created everything in it, on it, above it, around it, through it, forever and ever, past and forevermore. And that's what I believe, and I need to tell people about it if they'll sit still long enough to let me. So, I just wanted to bring you that. It's interesting, don't you think? 1260 in 11, 1260 in chapter 12, 1260 in chapter 13. Take a look. How could those things, 1,260-day things, happen one after another after another? That could mean these troubling times go on for 10 years. Who knows? You know, maybe it does. Maybe it does. Maybe we've stumbled onto something. I doubt it. But folks, get into this book. And if you don't understand it, keep reading it and pray and ask for understanding, because he'll give you the understanding. He'll give you, at least give you an interpretation that you can get your teeth into and your nails into and work on it. Even the preacher himself says, you know, the guy's been preaching for 40 years. When he first started, he believed X, Y, and Z. Today, he believes A, B, and C, and maybe X, Y, and Z don't look so good anymore. And that's called growing, okay? It doesn't make you right or wrong when you were young or right or wrong when you're old. We all have different interpretations because we're different people. And that's just understood. We all come from different backgrounds, from different cultures, from different places. I don't eat beets, okay? Sorry, some folks on the other side of the state probably live on that stuff. It's just how it is. We're different. We're the same but different. And it's okay to be different. It's okay to believe different things, as long as I'm not trying to tell you that Jesus wasn't God and he wasn't nailed to a cross and he wasn't resurrected and nothing he did is going to wash away your sin. Then, but man, pummel me. Please, beat me down, hold me down, and pour the truth in my mouth. Because, that's extreme. But you know what I mean. We're going to see things a little differently. But it doesn't mean that we have to disagree. We need to agree to disagree. And we'll all find out. It's like Mother says, we'll all find out one day. We're all going to have to leave and check out. And then we'll all know for sure. So that's it. Be blessed. Just a little word from the Lord for today. I got to get out. Rich is probably antsy about getting this thing loaded up so he can head out and do his thing for the day. But I got a bunch of running around to do myself to get prepared for the weekend. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. Get out, enjoy the weather. God gave us this great, beautiful creation to enjoy. The one to come is going to be even better. But while we're here, we should occupy, we should watch, we should look for the signs, and we should be awake. But just because there's a sign in here and it's going to show up in the sky doesn't mean it's coming from our Lord. It could be coming from the God of this ugly world. And it wouldn't be the first time. Take a look at September 2015. So there you go. That's it, folks. That's all I got for you today. Love y'all. Jen, dry out down there. Get you some dry socks and shoes. Don't worry about the branches and stuff. Give some young kids in the neighborhood a couple bucks to have them haul that stuff and pile it up for you. Saw the video. You guys got very lucky. The neighborhood didn't look all that bad to me, but you know, maybe you weren't showing us everything. It could have been a lot worse. Could have been a lot worse. Answer to prayer. Again, hey to Mike Vinoy out there. Once again, I don't know you, brother, but we've been still praying for you. Miracle. 2 weeks from busted up in a coma to back home. Only by the grace of God does stuff like that happen. So we're thinking and love you guys, praying for y'all. We're not going to stop there. Wish everybody a safe trip out to the racetrack. And to all my Christian friends, I'll see you more than likely Sunday evening for service. I may not be back Sunday morning, but I might just be hiding out, checking out to see if you guys are talking about me. But that's it. Have a wonderful weekend. It's going to be a beautiful weekend here. Sharon Lee down river. It's going to be nice. Get out and put some mulch in your yard. Play with your flowers a little bit. Do something. Brenda down in Texas. Love you guys. Praying for you and Dan. Hope you all are dried up by now. Man, this thing could go on and on and on and on, mentioning all the names. You know who you are, and God knows who you are. I love you guys, and I pray for y'all. Okay? Godspeed.